If you want to
I can't tell what's going on here. Okay.
just expand that window, both cameras, upper right, go back, upper right.
Oh, that.
That.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Everyone see the screen?
I can.
Yeah. Like
That's
the agenda,
right?
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Stand by. Let me just type in a couple more things here.
The same already in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see another cursor. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Queen.
Yeah.
Oh God, help me.
You love it.
Yeah, we'll go. That's it. You got
Coming
me.
from me, I know you do.
That's different. You see, you have to add some context.
Okay. Would you prefer to wait for? I'll wait for Joe for a couple of minutes if you know he's coming.
I don't know he's coming. He's unread on the last, and he went straight to voicemail. So
Okay, then
I think we just get started.
let's get going. Yep, very good. All right, I will call this meeting to order at 7:09 p.m. Welcome, one and all, to the November 2025 LPME XCOM meeting here. All right. First of all, have we looked at the minutes from last meeting?
yes.
Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Any questions on that? Should we just go? I'll just go straight to move to approve.
I move to approve.
All right. Kate moves to
second.
approve. Jason seconds. All right. Calling the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Moving on here. Treasurer report. Jason, you want me to defer to me? I got the numbers right here.
Yeah, I'll defer to you.
Okay. All right. In our Canada National accounts, we have in our main account, we have $876.08. In our secondary account, we have $15,826.59.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I know. I know that was too fast. I understand. All right.
All
So,
right, so
so the first one,
800
876.08.
876. Oh my God. Okay.
All right. Next one is account number 2 is 15,826.59.
Cool.
And PayPal is 860.49.
8.
All right. And that is that for now.
Okay.
All right. And if any questions at all? If not, let's just move on to, while we're all here, convention prep.
Okay. So just wanted to, I guess, now I'll start with the agenda. So we agreed to start promptly at 10 for call to order.
XCOM arrivals 8:30.
Yes.
Away,
Yes.
just to set up whatever we need to.
Basically, first 15 minutes is just a little bit of business and election of convention chair and secretary. Jim, I'm under the impression that the vice is typically the convention chair based on past conventions. Is that true?
Well, actually, Harrison was last time. I could honestly take it or leave it. If you would like to stand as chair of the convention, sure.
I think it makes sense, just given her amount of involvement in planning.
Yes, sure. In fact, I'll go as far as I'll nominate you as chair convention.
We gotta
Okay.
do that day of.
But no, I know. Just
Right.
saying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Figured we'd take, about 20 minutes to kind of go over the state of the party. So in terms of the state of the party, this is what I have for slides for that. Kind of just, can everyone read that okay, or should I make it bigger?
That's fine by me.
Okay, all right. Just kind of like, after our restructure in June of 24, focusing on 4 major points, which I feels, at least this is what it felt like to me. So tell me if anyone feels like I should change any of this, but, kind of developing our infrastructure to sustain a major political party, the fundraising for the registration drive, driving membership growth for a more sustainable future of the LP, and empowering activism by providing the tools and resources to further Libertarian Maine. Any thoughts on that? Edits suggested?
Do we have room for one more?
Yeah, we got, yeah.
I would stress on the last one, continued outreach to bring in more people and ideas into the party. And which should generate more revenue. And revenue, yes, it should be the first, if not one of the first, well, if not the most important thing here.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just adjust that a little bit.
Isn't that just a continuation of the second bullet point? Or the third bullet point, driving membership growth for a more sustainable future for Maine? Isn't outreach continue to bring more people into the party the same thing?
Yeah, actually, I agree with that.
You could extend that driving membership growth to include like community outreach.
Yeah, membership growth and community outreach.
Driving membership growth through
There you go.
community outreach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I like both of those points.
Yes, we covered the registrations, we covered the membership, both
Yeah.
are, yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, love it. Okay. And then I kind of just started with the finances. I figured we could do the treasurer's report here. I wanted to just highlight that our ethics filings were all on time and during this period, and we had no penalties for that. I was hoping that we could maybe present like the next year's line item budget just for some, I think it would be nice to have a little more transparency. I don't think we've done that before, other than just tell people what's in our coffers. But for other professional organizations, they at these kind of conventions, they do typically present like what their expenditures were overall and what their income was. So do you think that would be appropriate, or do we think that this is not necessary?
It'd certainly be appropriate. I don't know if we're prepared for it. We certainly would have to get prepared for it real quick to look at how much certain things cost.
Okay.
And be open about that. Honestly, I think with the crowd we're gonna have, we could take it or leave it.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
I think if we have, because the problem with doing something like that is you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Right.
So I think even just on the back end, having some kind of idea of what that it might be
Sure.
that is available upon request or something. It's not necessarily something that we have to say here. That
Yeah.
if
Right.
somebody wants it, they can come to one of us and get it.
Sure.
But just having it available in case somebody comes
And
or
did it.
brings up the question like, well, what are you
Yeah.
spending your money on? What is my money going towards?
Right.
Something like that.
Okay. I could get behind that. I definitely, so that was going to be my other thought, is if we didn't include it here, I would just highly recommend for the future just having some structure within that. I know Jason had worked a little bit on something, but yeah, maybe just making that one of the first steps to just make sure everyone's on the same page in terms of what you agree to spend on stuff, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I would, excuse me, I would just ask the question, who has questions about our budget? If they have none, we move on. If they have some, be prepared to answer them. So
I wouldn't
come
even
in
open
with
it
some
at
numbers.
all.
I wouldn't even bring it up at this point, though.
No.
I guess.
No.
I think that's
agree,
if
Sam.
somebody comes to us with that question at convention, we're at least prepared with an answer.
Right.
I think
Right.
opening up a can of worms in that instance is probably,
You don't even have to ask at that point. Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
I think so. That's my point, Jim, is I don't think we need to talk about it at convention or bring it up ourselves, like, but just knowing that in the future, that is a possible question, and being able to have that answer at the ready is a good thing to put into practice because I did look back through whatever I could find in the cloud, and I never saw anything specific to finances in there other than logins. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that one. And then I went to the growth in registered libertarian voters, do the fundraising efforts. And obviously if you wanted to, say more on the topic, I'm not saying we don't talk more on each slide. I just wanted to keep the slides fairly simple to, just be more talking points. So that was kind of what we addressed. The voters membership. I was thinking maybe, and I'll try to connect with Joe on this, but it would be good to know what our numbers are of lifetime members and and what our growth is in terms of new members. So to be able to actually speak to those numbers. We did the needs assessment. I was going to mention that, making tools more available for legislative advocacy, that type of thing. Working on the benefits that we were offering for members. And then this is who I have for county chairs, just to mention, which counties are active. So check my work. I'll make sure I share this after the meeting here, but check my work and just make sure I haven't missed anyone. And then also mentioning the increased kind of organic connections and, through our social media and websites. Anything else that anyone can think of? Okay.
Was the website refresh this year
Yes,
that it was finished?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. That might be something good to bring up, just making it more user friendly and having more information. And
Yeah, I think so I didn't want to take too much because there is a whole section
Yeah,
like
this
the
is like the
technology and
intro.
strategy. So
Perfect.
I didn't want to go too far down that, but I agree with you. I think that should be mentioned. And then just mentioning the events that we've had, our day of service, the service project at the food pantry in Bangor, the summer bash, some of our podcasts. I know we had gone I know that might have been in 24, but I'm considering it from June 24 is what our time frame is. So I remember going to the meadery. I wasn't sure if there was any other meetups that I had forgotten about. Did I miss anything from your region, Brian? No? Okay. So anyway, I can take out that other. And then the legislation, we were specifically working on concept drafts and defend the guard. And then I also made mention of making testimony submissions templates more available and quicker calls to action. Which I feel like those posts did generally well on Facebook, I think, like fairly well.
Posted. The
Yeah.
problem is with stuff like that, we
You
don't
can't
really
track
have
if they
any
actually did it,
feedback,
right? But at least there was, engagement. And then
you can bring up engagement because even that's going to be an impressive figure.
Mhm.
Because getting organic engagement through Facebook in general is pretty difficult. So any engagement that you're able to get
yeah.
is good momentum.
Yeah, I think that was going to be part of that other piece too, or wherever we feel like it needs to go. But that was, I think Joe has the ability to get some of those charts and such. So
When I went over that with him Monday when we met.
so definitely somewhere in here we'll add the visualizations because I think that'll be pretty powerful for sure. So, and then I was going to just highlight the candidates we've had run in the past year and a half. These are the 3 that I remember. Does anyone else remember anyone off the top of your head?
I believe that's it.
I know. Okay. All right. And so that was like kind of the first intro part, and then this technology and strategy update. So that would be the next thing down on the agenda. So this is needing to be filled in. I don't have much right now for that. So the proposed bylaws changes. The first one is the regions we talked about. This is so silly. I know it looks
It's
so dumb,
awesome.
but
It's beautiful.
it was the
I love
best
the
I could do.
colors.
It's
Wow.
not dumb at all. No,
Anyway,
it's
just trying to give
You
people a
probably should have
visual.
asked your mister who does that type of shit
I
all the time.
understand. I was just getting it done. So
Looks
that's
great.
that. Thanks so much. This is so there was two others that Andy had recommended. So this is one of them where his motion was to remove the qualifier libertarian from this Article 9, Section 4, to ensure that all delegates are residents and registered voters in Maine. So I guess the point being is like, I think what his point was is if we ever lose major party status, then there wouldn't be an opportunity to vote libertarian or to register to vote libertarian. So we want to make sure it's open, like in the future, if that were to go away.
Yeah. Also,
So-
there's not a requisite to be a member to be registered libertarian.
Right.
Because we had Breaky was a member for years and he
Mhm.
was GOP the whole
Right.
time.
Exactly. So, anyway, so that's that one. Everyone cool with that to be presented?
so just to be clear, we're talking about membership, not necessarily
No,
elected
No,
positions,
this is-
XCOM,
this-
things like that.
no, this is regarding
this is-
delegate.
Yeah.
Oh,
delegation.
delegates. Okay, yeah.
Just to make sure that all delegates are residents and registered voters in Maine. And in the case that we lose our major party status, there wouldn't be the opportunity to register to vote libertarian. So this would be limiting that possibility of that situation in the future for people to be able to represent.
Right, because basically what that would mean is that if for whatever reason we lost our party status, come next national convention, we would literally be able to put no one up
Because
if
of
we
that.
had that in.
Right. Okay.
Cool. You look perturbed, Jim.
You
No,
still-
I'm just reading and reading. An alternate delegates must be residents of Maine and sustaining members of either the LPME or National Libertarian and are registered to vote.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could see why that's a little are registered to vote libertarian. Well, anybody's registered to vote. It should, I think it should have read registered as a libertarian in the state of Maine with the
No,
Libertarian
no.
Party. It was yeah.
So that we have to separate them. You can be a member of the LPME. That doesn't have any bearing on voter registration status. So
Right.
obviously our priority, if we were to lose major party status in Maine, at the very least, you need to be a member in our party. So that covers that first part of this must be sustaining members of either the LP or the LNC. So that means that you've at least philosophically ascribed to this as an ideology. But if we
Right.
don't have the legal right to vote as a libertarian in Maine, we just need you to be able to vote in the state of Maine. So you can't be someone. So you could be, let's say let's say you are a resident, but randomly are registered to vote in Mass. No, you're not allowed to be a delegate. You need to
Right.
be. So we're just trying to prioritize if we can't have party status, that you have to at least be a resident and registered to vote in Maine.
Then we still,
Right. No, that wasn't that. Yeah, and I understand that, but that wasn't my point. My point is that this was law. This was badly written in the first place. It shouldn't be and are registered to vote libertarian and are registered with the Libertarian Party in the state of Maine. That's how it should have been written. Everything else you're saying is fine. It's just the way it was written in the first place was off.
I see. So are you saying are registered to vote? Okay, but now registered to vote in the state of Maine would fix that problem in your head?
Yeah, I mean, registered. I mean, I think it should read it should be registered to vote Libertarian, provided it's recognized by the state of Maine. We could discuss this at convention, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But I guess the only other piece though is that so then, but you're leaving the alternative, like if it's not, then what do you do? This covers
Correct.
both, this covers both things. It's more
Want to make
Right,
it broad as
right.
possible so you cover
There's-
yourself both.
right. You
Right,
want to
and-
have
and,
as little, you want to have as little like
Interpretation. Right.
room for interpretation.
And this
for
is
that.
Right,
For
right,
our
which is why it
delegation-
wasn't written quite right in the first
Right.
place, and that
I
was my
agree.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
But the way that it's
Yeah,
written now with this change will ensure the
cover it.
fact that no matter what our party status is in Maine, we will still we will still be able to, according to our bylaws, have a delegation go to national.
right.
That's all this
So
is.
instead of having to rewrite the entire paragraph,
Correct.
it's just
Yeah.
using
Right.
one word.
Yeah,
I agree.
And it gets us to the same result.
Absolutely.
right.
All right.
All right. And then this is the one that I went over last meeting, specific to the way that it was worded. They had kind of mashed up the initial wording of this, and it was very unclear about how to make typographical changes or grammatical changes, and they had kind of melded the two together. It was really messy, and you can look at it afterwards, but so I basically separated the two clauses out because I think they needed to be in terms of what the spirit of this was initially intended to be, which is that any typographical changes or grammatical changes do not need to be presented to membership as long as there's a consensus on the XCOM that they would accept that, because it's not, as long as it doesn't change the material, you know, the meaning or the intent of it, then we're covered to just manage that within the XCOM. So, but then they also had left it was really not great. So that's basically what I did here, is I just made it more clear and more solid in what this is supposed to mean and how you would move forward with it. It's a little bit more prescriptive. So any questions about that?
No.
Okay. And then the last one is the one that another one that Andy had put out there. So this is to clarify the requirements for our candidates running for office and seeking endorsement from the Libertarian Party of Maine. So if we lost party status again, we could still choose to endorse and run candidates. But if Libertarian is not an option to register to vote, the article as it's currently written would limit the executive committee and LPME from endorsing a worthy candidate. So similar to what we were discussing in that second one, where just trying to make sure that we have flexibility in the future if something were to transpire, that we would lose that status.
And it's not like we're expecting that, but we all know that legislators love to run roughshod over little parties like us. So kind of just insulating ourselves.
Yep.
And to be clear, because I think this could be a question that comes up, this is not a loophole so that we can endorse any candidate that we want. This is
Correct. And this is from Andy, by the way, so that I will I'll make sure it's mentioned, because you're right. I think I had a little bit of that thought where I'm like, God, this could be something that gets people all riled up about it. But I agree with you. I think it's worthy to mention that it's the ability to do what's right for the party in times that we're not necessarily expecting, but if they were to happen, you never know what you have to do in times of of crisis. So
it's hope for the best and plan for the worst.
Correct. I agree.
How very libertarian of us.
So that's the majority. That's the majority of the morning right there. Along with the IT and technology strategy update.
So that's mainly going to be Jason and Joe. I already went over it with Joe. He's going to compile some stuff and get it to Kate for slides. Jason, as far as the AI stuff goes, I kind of I mean, anyone pipe up, but I kind of want to present it in the way that it's not like we don't have a launch date. We're not necessarily going to say like it's more of like a tool that we're utilizing to provide information to the membership kind of thing, right? Like I don't, because of we'll see where everything lands after convention and what we start getting for involvement, but I don't want to show our cards too much at this point. Like show some bells and whistles, but be a little vague. You know what I mean?
Well, and you can always say that these are tools that are being developed in the background, and there's
Our plan might
there's
need
ideas of what they might be used for in the future, but until they're fully developed and ready for launch, like we're kind of keeping it a little close to the chest.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
And then we do bylaws review.
We already did that.
Yep.
So then after lunch, and then lunch just to, we did like the sandwich platters, I believe,
so.
right? So we did that with a couple different salads. There is, and just to let you know, there's the cash bar will be available. Actually, it might not be a cash bar. It's a bar. I think
cash bar.
Is it a cash bar?
Yeah, I believe so.
But can you pay with cards? Is my point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
That qualifies as a cash bar.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess maybe
cash
Either an open bar or a cash bar.
That's exactly it. And it ain't
Okay.
open because we ain't paying for their drunkenness. Not happening.
Yes. Yeah. No crap. So, and then after lunch, we'll do the executive committee elections. I've put each position with the kind of part of their job description on the slide so people could at least have that as reference when considering, whoever. So did that. Judicial committee elections. I said 2 to 4 when I talked to Andy. I know this isn't technically like explicitly stated in the rules, but he had said at one point, he's like, maybe we need to, it may not always be a 5-member committee depending upon how many people are available.
Is that in our bylaws?
So I don't know, but he had said something to the effect of like, but we could at least do it with 3, so he must have something in his head. So I just put that up there, but he can clarify if need be.
I've got a clarifying question. Are we actually I thought we were just electing the members and then they choose the chair from there. It says here that they elect the chair and the members.
Well, the members will elect the chair.
Okay.
But
Right.
but I'm making sure that
that's
known
what's
that that's
required
part
for
of
the
what this
committee.
is. Yeah.
We'll elect 3 or 5.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then they can
They
decide who the
decide
chair is after that.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Do we need a minimum of 3?
I would
Yes.
Yes, because you're gonna be the tie.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in order for it to be legit. I'm
Yeah.
not saying should
Yeah.
we, I'm saying would we? Yeah, okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'd be
I
impossible to
see.
break any kind of ties or voting or anything if you don't have at least 3 members.
Well, I think the next
Right.
slide, didn't it say like a 2/3 vote, and you can't have a 2/3
Without
vote
3 people.
without 3 people.
Right. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying, is it a requirement to have at least 3 is my question.
I would
Yes.
say so. Yes.
Yeah.
That's my understanding, but, and then the delegate elections, which we have 7 delegate positions. Is that correct?
Yes, and I would change that alternates to 2.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to even fill the 7 at this point.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You have time.
But I think we can, like, if someone after the fact wants to be a delegate, we can decide as an XCOM.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you can.
I think.
The requirements to be a delegate here. Afternoon break, and then the Free State Project, Eric Breakey is going to talk for 20 minutes. And then Pat will have a half hour.
Well, what the Free State Project said is that Eric would talk for 10 and do 10-minute Q&A.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of just happened this week. So that's that. I'm trying to make sure. So and then I made sure to include our convention rules that, following Robert's rules. I do have a like kind of a cheat sheet for Robert's rules too that I'll include at the bottom, but then all I did in the agenda beyond the schedule, the rules, was just our proposed bylaws so people can actually look at them. And then the executive committee, judicial committee position descriptions, and then the delegates position description and expectations along with a couple note pages. So, and then I'll have a cheat sheet for the Roberts rules in that as well. My thought is I'm going to just have like 20 copies printed and we'll just deal with that. That'll be a donation. Because I think, I do think I know we talked about having a QR code, but I think we're not going to have a huge turnout, it sounds like, so I'm just fine with printing it at this point. Any questions?
People can share.
Yeah, people get right. Exactly. Any like questions, concerns, or any changes needed here? Okay. So, I'll work on that in the next couple days. Let's make sure. Anybody else have any questions about convention? Any other issues to address within that prep? I would, so Jim, you're gonna bring the paddles, like the voting paddles, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I have, just to let everyone know, kind of, because I've kind of been doing a little bit of this too. I have a table I'm bringing, and I'm bringing all the freebie books and whatnot. I'm going to bring a little bit of Mises Caucus stuff to put out. I have the banner with our logo placard all over it that will go behind the podium that will take new XCOM photos against. I'm bringing my SLR camera, my laptop, my interface to record on. We might need someone else to bring an additional laptop that we might record too, because Kate might use mine to present from.
We might be able to do. I'll let you know for sure tomorrow afternoon, but we might better bring, because we just got 2 new laptops.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just something that we can launch the camera app on and just
Oh yeah, then yeah.
meeting,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's fine. That's all. I'm not planning on streaming anything. We're not zooming in anyone. We're not doing any of that. Just to have it for posterity's sake and to post if
Yeah.
people want to review afterwards. Joe's bringing his point and shoot for little things and his video camera for B-roll because he's kind of working on a bit of a year in review kind of little promo vid to go out at some point.
Nice.
Pat Ford is going to bring stuff for Libertarian Mutual Aid. He's going to have a table out. I don't think Free State Project's going to bother because they're probably going to arrive while we're in the middle of business, and I told them they can't be setting up while we're doing that. So I don't think they're bringing much of anything. Trying to think if I have anything else.
Jim, you have the card to pay for the rest of the
Yes. Debit card.
convention?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I have one thing that we talked about. We were going to ask Joe, but maybe Jason can do this. Can you generate a QR code for our PayPal account that we can just put on our break slides?
For
We can
donations.
just put it on the screen while we're on breaks.
Yeah, PayPal lets you. If you go into the PayPal website, it'll let you generate from there.
I don't know as if I have PayPal login, so
I think I might. I know Jim does, but I think
I
I
do.
might. So I'll try to log on.
okay, thank you.
Between the two of you, Jim and Jason, can you get that to Kate before the end of the week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning, I'll try logging in. If I can't, I'll let Jim know and I'll walk him through how to do it.
Okay,
Sweet.
thank you.
I got the password saved in my PC. I'll have to let me work on that while I'm thinking about it.
Okay, thank you. The other piece, not specific to convention, but I just want to make sure I mentioned it since we're talking about the debit card and everything. Jim or Jason, can one of you connect with Dave because we had voted to pay him the $100 for his campaign fund?
Right. No, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, do we have his contact information or how do we
I
pay
would
him?
say email him. email
Okay.
him to ask him what he would prefer, I guess. And
I'll share his contact with you right now, Jim.
Okay.
If he has a PayPal, it'd be easy for you to do it that way, Jim, to do a PayPal transfer, so
Right.
that way it's on the record as well.
okay,
Yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say we need to have like a written invoice or anything to have as far as documentation purposes for giving a donation.
You can, on PayPal, you can do the reasoning for why you're
Okay.
doing a transfer,
Right.
so that should be question.
All right, perfect.
We can
and then I
simplify it.
think once we do it in the ethics filings too, that's when we also categorize it there. So that's another way
Correct.
that we can track that,
Yep.
which is good. Good to have multiple areas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything else about convention?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm tired.
All right. We already went over the bylaws, and it sounds like people are cool with how we're presenting them, and then whatever discussion ensues beyond that. I wanted to just they're still needing some cleaning up in terms of formatting, but I did get the standard operating procedures manual kind of all in one document with clickable links to each of them.
Damn, babe.
So this is it's not in its final form, but I've kind of pulled
It's a usable
everything.
document,
It's a
though.
usable document.
Dane's so turned on.
I know, right? So I pulled in some of this was stuff that was in the original document that I made some like a lot of grammatical and typographical stuff, made things a little more clear. And then some of it was stuff that we had generated like individually when we were thinking of things. So one thing I'm gonna leave whatever comments I've made though, because once new XCOM comes in, it might be a good to review and like, for instance, for the hiring employees or contractors, I just kind of said it might be a good thing to draft a hiring template or a contract template, just so that we have it on file, that we all agree to that term, that type of thing. Might be good to have maybe someone look it over as well, or I don't even know if AI can do it based on, common legal documents or something like that. But I know that way moving forward, it's not like we have to reinvent the wheel every time. We know what the terms are for that. So anyway, that would be one recommendation for that. So yeah, I kind of just we've got ones, the ones that were already there were the job descriptions, but we had added the code of conduct a little while ago. I had drawn that one up using our AI. I had worked on and kind of cleaned up a succession plan as well, so that there's more delineated duties and tasks when there's a handover, and more of a more explicit expectation of behavior upon departing the party. So that is in there. One thing I know Joe is saying, I think Joe was mentioning, I was thinking if we have a position of the IT director, that should also have its own kind of SOP. So he's working on that. The financial policy was pretty much, it was just a paragraph. Sorry, I'll go down this way.
This is awesome.
And then, so there's the financial policy. I didn't really see anything that, a lot of this I try to just keep the same, because on the one, you want to be clear with these things, but then you also, sometimes it's just keeping it simple is better. So, the meeting policy, kind of what our expectations are in terms of cadence, and who runs the meetings, that we're following Robert's Rules of Order, attendance policy within that, subcommittees. So this is where we kind of, these aren't required subcommittees aside from the judicial committee, but I left them in here, but I do think it's good to kind of highlight that those things are priorities of the party, to make sure that those are being addressed in some way, even if it's not committee specific. It might just be, a workshop day or whatever. But anyway, made sure that was in there. This is the procedure that they had voted in 2022. I don't have anything from after that.
That email address does not exist.
I was gonna say,
I know, that's, I
Yeah.
I'll
highlighted.
I'll
that.
remedy
Yeah.
that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll make them.
So anyway, so that's, I don't know what to do with that other than I'm going to leave it in there, but that's the only, I don't have anything beyond like after that, which I know we've had 2 other votes. So, county affiliation, disaffiliation, the caucuses, member outreach. So this is where I started putting in like there was a social media and public relations section that I essentially just merged into the AI developed one that we did. Kind of like who has ownership over the social medias, what our messaging looks like, with cadence and also tone and some of the legal disclaimer requirements. So I think that's helpful because sometimes it's hard to find some of those things. So I wanted to include that. Like style and engagement, record keeping and transparency. So I left it all. I liked the thoroughness of this, but next XCOM, do what you will with it. If you don't like some of this stuff, I thought it was nice that it included like AI generated kind of how to deal with that.
We'll go through
Yeah,
it.
you'll go through it. This is the Libertarian podcast planner that Jason had created. Candidate support. So I had created this one about how we determine support for a candidate and kind of a process to do so. So, what are the guiding principles we want to address? How are they eligible? And then there's a little evaluation form. So we actually used it and I saved it to the cloud, but we used it when we were talking with Dave about his run for school board. And so it's nice because it kind of gives a little bit more, it's not just, oh, we just decided and we just felt like it. This gives it a little bit more of like we have a rubric, we have criteria to meet. It kind of takes some of it makes it fair and equitable, I think. So, and then endorsement of political candidates. So a little bit different, like if it wasn't necessarily that it could be like a national candidate or, whatever. So I thought that was a good one to include as well. I think Jason made that one. And then hiring contractors, that was an old one. Party property was an old one. And then this is the the process. So basically the how we would do that within the bylaws. So that's it. It'll be cleaned up by the time of handover, but yeah. Any questions?
just
Okay.
a big thank you for all your diligence.
I want
busting our ass.
Mhm.
I want it to be an easier transition for people than what I've seen and experienced in my own experience, time here. So I think having this will just help, especially unfortunately we've seen people leave like abruptly too. So this just I think will help kind of guide the next person and the people, needing to flex
Piece it all together.
it all together.
Yeah.
I hope that this is not what happens, but okay.
Do we need to motion to pass
Both of these.
both of these?
So I
The
think
convention prep and the SOP bylaws, or is it possible that we can just do them both together?
As far as the SOPs go, we don't need to do anything with that. That can be the next XCOM that adopts it and ratifies it. Membership doesn't need to be involved in that.
yeah. And then the
Bylaws, membership does need to ratify.
no, but I think the motion would only be that we're agreeing to that these are the bylaws changes in the way that we would like to present it to members. We're not voting on the bylaws changes to accept and ratify them. It's just I think you're right, Sam. There has to be like that we've all agreed that this is how we want to present the bylaws to the membership.
Oh, you're saying a motion right now for that?
Yeah, right?
Yes, probably.
That's how I understood this to be.
Yes.
I will motion to adopt the convention presentation that was created by Kate And I
Okay,
will also motion to accept the SOP and bylaws document that was created by Chris.
All right, one at a time. Let's deal with the first motion first. I'm going to second that.
okay.
All right, and I'm just going to
All
call
the
the question. All the
questions,
question. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. And Jason, could you repeat your second motion, please?
Yep. I also motion to accept the SOP and bylaws document that was presented by Kate this evening.
Who wants to take second on that one?
I'll second it.
There you
All
go,
right.
Brian.
All right,
Thanks,
very
Brian.
good.
Thank you, Brian.
Calling the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, works for me. Okay, very good.
Hooray.
All
Um,
right.
Sam, just for the interest of the what the motions are, I would just
Oh, yeah.
thank you.
So
I'm going to give Sam give a couple of
wanna
minutes to
type it out?
play catch up here.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Leave
you.
me alone.
Hydrate people.
Oh God, I've been hydrating
Mhm.
all day.
Should have hydrated more.
Did you move your desk?
Me?
No, it's there.
No. The Sam and Jason. Was it?
Oh,
No.
we're on
Wasn't it
we're on
the-
the different part of the L.
Yes.
Oh,
It was like
okay.
yeah.
what?
Don't worry about it.
I did too. Thanks for noticing.
You did?
Well,
oh,
yeah. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
it's all part of the renovations we got going on here. But that's.
Okay.
But I'll we'll talk about that another
I
time.
added
Here.
Ron Paul. Anyone notice that?
Oh my God.
I got Ron.
I can't now.
Paul.
I did not notice that because I'm still taken by the.
It's also very far
Canadian
away.
flag there. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. Once we get that typed in, we'll move on to the next
That
things.
look
Yeah.
good. Does anyone want to add anything to those motions?
No, I think that's clear enough.
Right. Okay,
Clear
let's
as
do
mud.
that. Scroll down, please.
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Yeah, very good. New business. Budget for the next fiscal year. It's got Jason's initials on it, so I'm assuming he had something to say about it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I know what this is.
sorry.
Sorry, my brain is not working.
That's okay.
So
We-
this is less about an actual physical. So this was more just a conversation than as an actual document. Although, all right, I'll start here and then I'll build upon it. As was reported with the balances this evening, technically of funds that have been raised by the party, we have a balance of less than $1,000 now. So the secondary account are funds. I know there are funds that we can use for anything, but these were funds that were acquired by partnering with the RFK campaign. So I believe that the next, this is why I'm saying that this is a conversation. I think this is a decision that has to be made by the next XCOM, because I don't think it'd be right for us to set any kind of budgetary constraints for a new group of members who may be having their own initiatives that they want to try to accomplish. But I do think that we should talk about this so that way it's on the record. So just for qualification, I went through our billing from the last 6 months to see what we spend on average, not including giving $100 here or there or using marketing or so on and so forth. So these are just the monies that we spend on normal monthly expenses. And the total amount is $418.12, which isn't a lot of money, honestly. But again, if we did not have the RFK funds, that means that we have 2 months of liquidity available, which means that in 2 months, the party basically ceases to exist. Whether we're registered or not, if without money, a party can't do anything.
Right. Which
So
means we have
this
no
is
Zoom, we got no anything.
Can you repeat the total? Was it 419 you said?
$12. 86 cents.
86.
Oh.
Okay.
Take over.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm typing in there.
That's okay.
You go for it.
So for the next XCOM, this is something that needs to be a priority, because again, we cannot assume that we'll have another opportunity in 2 years to raise $15,000 by being able to associate with a candidate who's not a libertarian that happens to have a lot of name cachet and so on and so, like these are not funds that we can expect to be constantly receiving. So I just wanted this to be on the video conversation and that it was mentioned in this meeting so the next XCOM can speak about it. But my point of view on this is that it's already concerning that LP National has an atrocious burn rate. We're keeping up with them, and that's not something to be proud of.
Right.
So,
I mean, just based on that, that means we need to raise $5,000 a year just to operate the way we have been.
to operate the way we have. That's the basics. That means no outreach. That means no campaigning. That means no registration drives. I mean, anything that's additional expenses, that does not count any of that. That's just the party exists, and we can answer emails and use the chat GPT.
Do a MailChimp campaign.
Do MailChimps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that we have talked about this last meeting about, again, this is just me talking out loud. I think that the focus of the next XCOM needs to be acquiring paying members, because we can have 100,000 registered libertarians, but if we have zero in the bank, we can't actually run a candidate.
Oh, tight.
So
Right.
It's number 2 on my platform.
there you go. So that's just something I just wanted to bring up to the XCOM and the members on the call, so that way everyone is aware of the actual state of affairs, because that secondary RFK account makes it look a lot rosier in terms of our overall finances.
Right.
But the way I look at that is that we should not be looking at that money as if that was the money that we raised. We just so happened to have an opportunity to go in half and half. And let's be honest, with 6,000 libertarians, that might even come from our 6,000 libertarian group, because if it did, we'd have more than $800 in our account. So
Right.
that's likely because of other people who are not libertarians who just liked RFK.
Yeah.
So we can't count on that money to come in again.
Right. Right.
Sorry if that was misleading. As I realized afterwards, like, oh, that makes it look like I was looking for you to have a document. That's not what I meant.
No, I did. So I'm
sorry about that.
this has nothing to do with. So I don't know if I want to motion any of this, but I'll bring this up also. I already, for those who are not aware, I already let the other members of the XCOM know that I will not be seeking re-election for treasurer. I had originally some other things that I was working on, but I have been able to rearrange some of those priorities. So I'll make the offer here, and if it has to be something that comes up during the convention on Sunday, then not even better. But if Joe would like some help with the IT stuff, especially when it comes to the website and any of the AI tools of development, I would be happy to be a part of the party that way. In a non-official XCOM role, I guess. I'm not sure, but that's something that next XCOM, whoever is involved, can talk about. And if any of the members who are currently part of the XCOM are part of that one, let me know, and I'm at your disposal if you need me.
Much appreciated.
Yay.
I'm done.
Thank you, Jason. No, 100%. I'd like to take a closer look at what some of these expenses are and if we're really using them, but we'll table that till next month.
I will say, just to like the expenses, most of them we've voted in within the past, not most of them, but a lot of them within the past year because of getting some of these other things on. So I will say, I think based on what I know Jason and I have seen, those are, at least my opinion is that those are all fairly reasonable expenditures in order to get, if we're going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
So I will just put that out there. I don't think that there's much in the way of waste in terms of those costs. I think it's literally just because because honestly, that's not terrible. That's less than a third of a rent's months for most people.
Yeah, it's $100 a week.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that I don't think is the problem. I think it's just there's nothing coming in, and that's why this feels not great right now. But anyway, yeah, I don't think there's much in the way of fluff in that budget.
All right.
Just for context too, I was able to have a conversation with some members from a larger state than us. They have like 4 times the population, but on average, they're bringing in from their membership somewhere between like $5,000 to $7,000 a month. So when you look at bringing in contribution. Also, again, 3 times the state, I believe, if I remember, they had like 30,000 registered libertarians or 20,000 registered libertarians, something like that. So I mean, also 3 times. The thing is, their membership, from the conversation we had, like if you were to look at their registered libertarians to membership, it's like 62%.
Mm,
While if we have
right.
6,000, but we have less than 100 members, we are at 0.6%.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. It doesn't matter. Again, I know that in the past, this has been something that has been really important because of Maine state laws and how we do elections here and the whole system. And I get all that. But there's no point in having a party if you cannot afford to actually run candidates.
Mm.
At that point, all you're doing is you're just doing community outreach. So like the point of having a political party is to be able to raise funds, because a political party is a corporation, is to raise money so that that money can be spent towards initiatives. And if you can't do that, then you're not a political party. So this is,
Amen.
I think, very, very important.
Thank you.
I would agree. Joe just got back to me.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Oh shit! I thought the convention was going to be our meeting. My bad."
Telling me sucks.
Well, he's gonna.
Things.
He said he's
Mhm.
give me a minute. He's gonna join in case we need
Too
him
late.
to do anything.
We're
If
done.
you do it, if
I
you do it
call for
now, it's on the
adjournment.
record. I mean, yeah. Yeah. All right.
True.
Jason, thank you very much for that. Truer words never spoken. That's something that next XCOM definitely has to take in mind. Don't think we need a motion for any of that. I think we can just
Yeah.
move on here. Next action steps. Do we even have any?
No.
Just
Nope.
adjournment.
All right, very good on that. In that case, I'm going to call to adjourn so Joe can show up. How about that?
Seconded.
All right, very good. All in favor?
I.
Aye.
Aye.
Hit your record.
And recording stopped.
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.